The next topic we have to study is about the relational decomposition. And we studied that in the case of normalization, in some cases we may join the tables, or in some cases we may split the tables. So what is the meaning of decomposition of a relation? Decomposition is the process of dividing or breaking a relation, a single relation, into two or more sub-relations. That is, if we have a table, if it is very large table, in some cases we have to divide that tables into smaller tables. So that is called a decomposition. Uh, while we are decomposing a table, we have to consider some important factors. The first point is that suppose if the decomposition is not performed in the right manner, we may lose some information. That is, loss of information will be there if you are not dividing or decomposing a table properly. Second point is that the main use of decomposition is in order to design a table that does not contain any anomalies, inconsistency and redundancy. That is the main purpose of the decomposition, is to eliminate anomalies, inconsistency and redundancy. So in the case of decomposition, suppose R is a relation which contains some attributes. Decomposition means that dividing R into different relations or different relation schema, each of the subset contains, each of the subtables contains a subset of attributes in R, and if we combine or if we join all the attributes in the different relation, we will get all the attributes in the original relation. That is, suppose R is a table which contains a set of attributes. Suppose that we are decomposing R into smaller tables. In that case, each of the table will contain subset of attributes of original table R. And if we combine or if we join all these smaller tables together, we will get all the attributes in capital letter R. So that are the main points you have to consider in decomposition of a relation. So first we define what is the relation decomposition. Relational decomposition means dividing a larger table into smaller tables. And why we are doing the relational decomposition? Relational decomposition is used to eliminate the anomalies, the inconsistency and the redundancy. And we must be very careful while we are decomposing the table, because if we are not performing the decomposition in a proper manner, loss of information will be there. And as an example, if R is a relation which is maybe a larger relation which contains a lot of attributes, decomposition means R is divided into smaller tables such that each of the table contains a subset of attributes of capital R, that is the original table, and if you join all these tables together, all the attributes together, or if you then we will get the original set of attributes in original table R. Second, we have to study is what are the properties of decomposition. The two properties must be followed while you are doing the decomposition of a relation. The first one is lossless decomposition and the second one is dependency preservation. Lossless decomposition, as I said, we must be careful that while we are decomposing a table into smaller tables, the information will not be lost. It is very important. The second one is dependency preservation. What is dependency preservation? So we will study about different types of dependency, like functional dependencies are there, multi-value dependencies are there, so like that a lot of dependencies are there. So suppose R is a table and we are dividing the table R into smaller tables. Which all dependencies are satisfied by the original table R, that must be satisfied by either the subset or subtables, or the combination of the tables must satisfy that dependency. So that is called a dependency preservation. So here we can study what are the meaning of these 2 points. So these are the 2 points while we are doing the decomposition, that are called the properties of decomposition. While we are doing the decomposition of an original relation, these 2 points must be keep it in mind. The first one is lossless decomposition. Second one is dependency preservation. So what is the meaning of lossless decomposition? Lossless decomposition ensures that the information is not lost from the original relation during the decomposition. That is, suppose that we are dividing an original table into smaller tables, information is not lost. So that will be guaranteed. So that is the lossless decomposition. The second point is that when we are joining all the subrelations back, we will get the original table that was decomposed. Okay, and every decomposition must be always lossless. We will try to decompose a table such that we will not lose any information. So these are the main points that will come under the lossless decomposition. What are the points? Lossless decomposition means that which ensures that the information is not lost while we are decomposing an original table. And when the subrelations are joined back, we will get the original relation that was decomposed. And we must try to decompose a table such that the information is not lost. The second property of a decomposition is dependency preservation. And what is the meaning of dependency preservation? It ensures that the functional dependencies that holds on original relation are not lost. Okay, none of the functional dependencies. So we will study different types of dependency, and suppose that the original table has a lot of dependencies exist there, it is not lost while we are performing the decomposition, and the subrelations still hold or satisfy the functional dependencies of the original relation. That is the second property. That is all the functional dependency that must be satisfied by each of the smaller tables. Now we have to study types of decomposition. Decomposition can be divided into 2 types. The first one is called lossless joint decomposition, and the second one is called lossy joint decomposition. So we will study in detail what is the meaning of each type of decomposition. So first we are going to study about lossless joint decomposition. For that purpose, suppose we have a relation called R, and suppose we are decomposing this R into subrelations R1 to Rn. We can say that all this decomposition of R into this R1, R2, etc. up to Rn is a lossless joint decomposition. If we join all these subrelations, that will result the same relation R, which was decomposed. Okay, that is, if you calculate, this is the natural join. If you find the natural join of R1, R2, etc. up to Rn, we will get capital letter R, which was the original table. So that is the meaning of the lossless joint decomposition. So let R is a relation, and suppose we are decomposing this R into a number of subrelations R1 to Rn. We can say that this decomposition was a lossless decomposition. If we join all these subrelations, we will get the original relation R. So mathematically we can represent like this. If we calculate the natural join of all these subrelations, we will get the original relation R. So here we can see one example. Suppose that we have a table which contains 3 attributes, A, B and C. Let it be the values of A, B and C. And suppose that we are going to decompose this original table into 2 subtables R1 and R2, where R1 contains the attribute A and B and R2 contains the attribute B and C. Okay, that is, we are dividing the original relation, we are decomposing the original relation into 2 subrelations R1 and R2. R1 contains only A and B attributes of R, and R2 contains the subset B and C of R. So we can see that R1 looks like this table, and R2 looks like this table. Suppose that we are going to find out the natural join of these 2 relations. And how to find out the natural join of these 2 relations? First we take the first row of R1, okay, and which attribute is common to both the tables? B is common to both the tables. So first we take the first row of the first table, that is 1 and 2. And next we will try to find out a match for 2. That is B, where B is common. 1 and 2 is the first row we are taking from R1, and we will check whether any particular value in this field contains the value 2. So this one. So how we will get? If you are performing the natural join, we will get 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, which was the original relation. 1, 2, 1. And if you find out, if you take the second relation, so the second row, 2, 5. So here we have to check any of this B contains 5. Yes, this one contains 5. So we will merge this one and this one. We will not repeat the value of B again. So we will write 2, 5, 3. So that is the 2, 5, 3. Original table, second row, it's 2, 5, 3. Then if you take the third row, 3, 3. So we will try to find a match for B here in the second table. So 3, 3, 3. That is a natural join. Same thing. 3, 3, 3. So if you perform the natural join of this R1 and R2, we will get the original relation R. So that means that the decomposition was lossless decomposition. So the same thing, this is another example for the lossless decomposition. This is the lossless decomposition example. Suppose we have a table like this. And in this table, this is a student table which contains the roll number of student, name of the student, and department of the student. And similar to the previous example, you consider roll number as A, S name as B, and department as C. And suppose we are dividing this table into two subtables. This is the first table which contains this A and B, that is roll number and name. This contains B and C, that is roll number and department. So if you find a natural join of these two relations, that is first one is 1, 1, 1 Parimal. So we will check for, here S name is common to both. So we will check for a okay, this is the example we have to take. That is roll number, S name, department was our original table, which is decomposed into these two tables. The first one is roll number and S name. The second one is roll number and department. So let it be the two subtables. So we have to check whether this one is a lossless decomposition. So for that purpose, when we join, when we perform the natural join of these two subtables, we have to get the original table. So we can check that. So first of all, we will take the first row of the R1, 1, 1, 1 Parimal, and we will check the second one, which one contains 1, 1, 1 in the roll number field, because this field is common to both. So when we are performing the natural join, we will get 1, 1, 1 Parimal computer, which was the first row of the original table. The second one is 2, 2, 2 Parimal. So we will check for a 2, 2, 2 roll number here. So 2, 2, 2 Parimal, this field will be combined, joined. So that is the second row. So when we are performing the natural join of these two subrelations, we will get the original table, this one. So this is a lossless decomposition. Next we have to study is lossy decomposition. So before that, we have to consider certain points about that. Not some main points about the lossless decomposition. Lossless join decomposition is also called a non-additive join decomposition, because the result we will get after the joining subrelation will be same as that of the original table. So we are also calling it as lossless join decomposition, is also called non-additive join decomposition. So after performing the decomposition, there will not be any tuples left. We will get the actual original table if you are performing the lossless decomposition. Second type of decomposition we have to study is called the lossy decomposition. So how can we define the lossy decomposition? Suppose R is a relation, and suppose we are decomposing R into subrelations R1 to Rn. We can say that it is a lossy decomposition if you calculate the natural join of all the subtables or subrelation, we will not get the original relation R. Some tuples will be left. Okay, so that is called the lossy join decomposition. Lossy means some information will be lost. Something will come extra after performing the decomposition. We will not get the original table R. So we can express in mathematical terms. Suppose R1 to Rn is a set of subtables which is created after decomposing the original relation R. If you perform the natural join, we will not get R. We will get a subset or a subset of R or a superset of R. Okay, that is here. This one contains some extra tuples will be there, which was not which will not be any tuple in R. That is something we left. Extra some tuples will be there. So we can see this one with the help of this example. And suppose we are considering the same example, A, B and C. Let it be our original relation R, which contains three attributes A, B and C. So based on the example, instead of A and B and C, we can write the name of the attributes. Okay. Then suppose we are dividing this table like this. This is R1, which contains A and C, and R2 contains B and C. So here C is the attribute which is common to both the subtables. So suppose if you are trying to find out the natural join of these two tables, we will get the table result like this. Okay, that is first we are taking the first row 1 1. The common attribute is C in both the tables, so we will try to find out a common 1 in C here. So we will, if we are join, we will get 1 2 1. So first, if you are writing first A, first B and first C, you have to write it appropriately. So you must be careful while writing the name of the attributes. So if the attributes are taken A, B, C, we have to take 1, then we have to write another 2, then 1, because C is common to both. Then the next one is in the same manner, if you are taking no other C, there is no other join, we need not want to do other join. Then we take the second attribute 2 3. So we have to check if any row contains 3, 2 rows contains 3. So we will write 2 5 3 and 3 3 3. Okay, so this is the result. 2 3 3 2 5 3. So in the same manner, if you join the last two rows 3 and 3, 3 5 3 and 3 3 3. So that will be but your original table contains only 3 rows. If you are dividing like this and performing the natural join, some extra rows will be there. So that is denoted by this symbol. R1 natural join, R2 will be a superset of R. Okay. So we can say that in this type of decomposition, this is a lossy decomposition, because if you are dividing this original table like this R1 and R2, and if you try to find the natural join of R1 and R2, we will not get the original table R. So this is an example of a lossy decomposition. So this is an example for a lossy decomposition. Suppose this is the original table. Suppose we are dividing it like this. If you try to find out the natural join, we take the first row of this table, 1 Pariman computer, then 1 Pariman electrical. If you take the second row, 222 Pariman computer, 222 Pariman electrical. So in the case of lossy decomposition, if you are dividing like this, okay, if you are dividing like this, you will get the tables like this. That is, in the original table there were 2 rows were there, but if you are dividing like these subtables and try to find out the natural join, you will get 4 rows. 2 rows are extra from the original table. So this is an example of lossy decomposition. So this is the meaning of lossy decomposition. So these are some points about the decomposition. Lossy decomposition is also called careless decomposition. That is, without any care we are decomposing. So some extra tuples will be introduced if you are performing the natural join of the subrelation. We already found that. And extra, it is very difficult to find out which all tuples are extra. It is very difficult. Okay? That are the 2 types of join operation. So we studied what is decomposition, relational decomposition, the 2 properties of relational decomposition, Then types of decomposition, lossless and lossy, and the explanation with example of each and every type. It is very important one and you must be careful while studying.